So we're back, the Dan and Ninko Show, episode 23. Michael Jordan, the best of all time.
We're at the best of all time here for beer, right?
Castle Island. So we are at Castle Island Brewery. We're going to do some really cool stuff. We're going to meet Adam, the owner and CEO of Castle Island, hear his story. We're going to see how the beer is made. Obviously, you have to have a taste test.
Yeah, it's
and
the most important.
When you have a vest on like this, which I'm bringing back the vest. Yes, that is true. I know the vest was in, it's out, now it's in because I said so. Don't you think so?
I think you're invested.
I am invested. I'm invested in the vest. So it's going to be an awesome show. We're excited. This is one of our adventures. I know we were going to have more adventures, but this is the start. And
it's like
Castle
the first
Island,
one.
The first adventure, actually
no, second adventure.
Because we did the go-karts. We did the go-karts and I won. Anyway, we won't get into the competition side of things because I won. Yeah. We brought the Senna here, which why not bring $1 million car to an awesome brewery?
Drink responsibly.
We'll be responsible. We have our masks. We're going to be socially distant. We're going to do everything the right way. So stay tuned. Episode 23. Here we come.
Here we go.
All right, so we're here at Castle Island Brewery. I'm here with Adam, owner, Castle Island, and we're gonna take a little tour of how everything goes down, how they can the beer, and take it away.
Perfect. Let's get after it. We're gonna head right this way. We're on those safety goggles.
Safety first, right?
Gotta get it.
There it is. We got these Oakley safety glasses on, and they're fogging up. Here we go.
Awesome. Let's go check it out.
Check it out.
Cool. So we've got the whole facility here. This is where we've always been, about 20,000 square feet. And this is where every drop of Castle Island is made right now. Nice. Yeah. The warehouse here, we've always used cans. Yeah, the upside down ones are empty.
Keep breaking for it. That's your favorite.
This right here. This is my favorite.
We're gonna go ahead and just wrap this for you, back your truck up, we'll pop it right in the bag.
I don't know if I can finish these before they go stale, but
pretty similar to the same way everyone makes beer, but everyone's got their own recipes, their own process. So you got 4 main ingredients in beer. You got water, malted cereal grains, which is pretty much always barley, but frequently include wheat, rye, corn, oats. You got hops, which are flour, and then you got yeast, which is actually responsible for fermentation and creating alcohol. And
so basically, it's good for you then, right?
It's definitely good for you. That's not a medical claim, but it's good for the soul for sure. So first step, we're cracking that grain open to expose the sugars on the inside. That's happening inside this mill here. There are about 2,000 pounds of grain that go into any batch of beer. As that grain is getting cracked open, those sugars, which are starches, will eventually get mixed with hot water further down in the brew house. And we're going to create this kind of sugary sweet barley tea. And it's those sugars from the grain that are eventually going to get converted into alcohol by the yeast.
It's going to end up like Jameson?
no Jameson. It smells terrific in here.
Yeah, so I like to tell people we've got the best smell of workplace in the company.
Man, is that good.
So we're actually looking at the end of the mash process here. The mash is where we're mixing that grain in hot water. It'll steep for about 45 minutes to let those starches extract. And then at the end of that, bottom of this tank is a big filter screen, kind of like a giant colander. That'll help us separate out the liquid, which continues through the process, and the grain, which gets sent to Pine Hill Farm down in Taunton for use as animal feed. So it's fully recycled at this point. You can see Matt, our head brewer now, is just finishing up one batch of beer. The liquid, which at this point is called wort, that's where it's sweet. And believe it or not, you can actually eat this.
You can eat that.
You can eat that. Doesn't taste like much because all the sugar's been extracted. But it's totally fine to eat. And that smell, that's the flavor you're going to get.
I can feed that to my kids in the morning.
Yeah. I want to sprinkle some sugar on there.
Yeah. They like the oatmeal in the morning.
So next up, that liquid gets transferred over to this tank on the left.
Okay.
It's our boil kettle. We use steam heat to bring it up to a full rolling boil. So it's about 1,000 gallons of liquid at this point. That's just cruising. And as soon as that boils underway, that's where we're adding those hops to get flavor, aroma, and a little bit of bitterness. That process is going to take about an hour. And at the end of that, we transfer everything to the tank in the middle, called the Whirlpool Tank. And the only thing that's happening there is we're pumping that liquid in on the side of the tank, literally creates a giant whirlpool, and that helps all those hop pellets to kind of clump back together so we can leave them behind and drain the clear liquid off the side.
So when you do a different flavor, do you have to take everything and like flush it out and like completely change everything out, like rinse it to like start a new beer? Like, so how many different beers do you have? Like how many different, I guess, start to finish? Do you have one or do you have 3 different like places that you do this process at?
If we're brewing, say, 2 batches of Keeper or IPA, we'll do a real quick hot rinse in between those batches and then just keep on moving because it's the exact same ingredient.
Okay.
If we're moving from Keeper to, say, Fiber,
Yeah.
which are a hazy IPA, then we're doing a full cleaning cycle on this.
How hard, like, what's a full cleaning cycle? What's it take, like, time-wise to do that?
But then a full CIP if you wanted to like really get it sweet.
Yeah,
and
we do
clean.
that once a week. That's on Fridays. That actually takes about, a good 6 hours.
6 hours.
You can tell I've been out of it for a while.
It's like 30 minutes, an hour. It's like, oh no, 6 hours. 6 hours. That's all day. It's about half the day. Yeah.
They're very thorough.
How much, like, from one, like, how much beer can you get out of one full process? Like, how many gallons of beer?
So one pass through is 30 barrels. A barrel is 31 gallons. So it's a little over 900 gallons. We kind of push the system to get closer to 1,000.
Yeah.
And all the fermenting tanks that you see behind you, with the exception of one, are 60-barrel tanks.
Okay.
So we'll basically do 2 turns on this system to build one of these tanks.
I got you. Do you have any small people that you put in the tank for any repairs?
We got a couple.
Couple have to get in
you'll
there
probably
and do
see
some
them.
things?
Yeah, exactly.
You just a head pop out. Like, hey,
It's like an Oompa Loompa.
we
I was
need
gonna say.
no, the Dan O'Brien character. We could throw him in there.
And the Ninko
And he'd be
character.
keeping it awesome.
Clean that crap out.
That's it. That's it.
Awesome. So once the yeast is inside these tanks, it's immediately going to start getting to work.
Okay.
Fermentation takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. For ales, it's faster. It's about 2 weeks. Ales are actually going to ferment with the soon-to-be beer from the top down.
Cold? Is that cold in there?
That's cold, yeah. So that tank there, Rob, is sitting at 30 degrees right now. 30.8 degrees, yeah. So after fermentation's complete, we'll drop the temperature. All these tanks have a glycol jacket so we can run chilled water around them.
I got you. Okay.
Exactly. In that chilling process, we'll do a couple of things. Number one, it's going to help the yeast to go dormant. They're going to fall into this cone here. It helps to separate them out from the beer.
Yeah.
We can also harvest that yeast to reuse it in another batch.
Oh.
The second thing that it's going to do for us, colder beer actually carbonates a lot better because the CO2 will dissolve more easily into cold liquid.
Okay.
So by bringing the temperature down, we can carbonate the beer more effectively.
Awesome. To keep this cool, where like you have to have a cold water system, something like that. You have to keep pumping cold water. to
Yes,
keep
we've got
everything
a 40-ton chiller out back,
Chiller.
just a giant air conditioner,
Wow.
and we're pumping chilled water pretty much all throughout the production facility, and that drops down to every tank.
cold. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
It's pretty nuts, and we can actually, because there's propylene glycol in it, we can actually run that stuff below freezing.
I want to start Ninko's solar company, and I want to sell companies like Castle Island solar panels, because I bet you're using a lot of
If you
power.
saw our electric bill,
Woo!
yeah.
Wow.
There's a business there for sure.
Yeah.
So after fermentation, after the beer's been chilled, we'll actually centrifuge it. We're going to cut through here. So this centrifuge here, basically it's got a giant stainless steel bowl in there that's whipping around at about 8,000 RPM. And as the beer hits that, it's going to cascade down a stack of discs, separating out the yeast and any remaining hot particulate, so that what we get is stable, just beer. There's no, schmutz or anything like that. And hazy beers will stay hazy. It's not going to rip that out, but it's going to make sure that the product we're putting on the shelf
You don't get any,
is
like,
consistent.
stuff in here.
You're not going to see floaties.
Floaties, yeah.
Exactly. I know some people are doing that, and that's in vogue.
Yeah.
We're not really.
I don't like the floaties.
I'm
When I
with
get,
you,
when
man.
I get an
I freak
IPA
out.
and I dump it in there and I go, oh no.
Yeah, if I'm buying a 16-ounce can of beer, I want 16 ounces
Yeah.
of beer, not 15 and an ounce of floaties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't dump the whole can in there. You'll get all the floaties. I'm like, I don't. How about I just get
Change
a
your
beer with no floaties? You know?
How much is that setup like this top?
Because I want this in my garage. I would love to. Like, if you had this in the garage and you say, "Hey, babe, I'm on the garage. What are you making tonight?"
Making a mistake. Okay, give me some of it afterwards. Throw it in there.
So installed, this system's about 150 Gs.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. What was that one? That small one over there?
It's about 5K.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can do that one. I can do that one. 150. I gotta go play football again.
Yeah,
Wow.
it takes a lot of money to make beer. That's
This
for
might
sure.
seem like a dumb question, but the cans on the bottom, are they very strong? Like that seems like a ton of weight. Is that all empty cans?
So they're all empty for starters.
When they're full, you can't stack them like that, correct?
Not quite that high.
Okay.
No. So those are all empty, but on top of it, I mean, a can's a perfect cylinder, so structurally, it's
Now, have
pretty
you
strong.
seen the aluminum prices, like all that stuff go crazy?
It's definitely hit us a little bit.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate in that the contracts that we had already lined up for production came through, and so we haven't stocked out yet. But we were actually planning on doing a soft rebrand in 2020 that got pushed because they weren't running any new artwork cases at the factory.
I got you.
They basically said we can only rerun the existing stuff.
Okay.
So that has impacted us, and lead times have gotten a little longer, but we've been able to control it.
Dan can talk about that in the car business.
Yeah.
I'm
Lead
sure.
times are not
If
fun.
you want a new car, do it in the next 30 days, okay?
We're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Good to know. Okay, you can actually see in process right now. These guys are filling. You guys fill primer. So filling kegs is pretty easy. It's a squeeze, by the way. He runs our packaging line.
Pleasure to meet you, by the way.
John over here gives him a hand.
I'll give you the bow.
I appreciate it.
So filling kegs is a breeze, or at least I'll say it's a breeze. These guys will disagree with me. But you're basically tapping them and using CO2 pressure to push the beer in instead of pushing it out. The kegs hit a certain weight and you're full. That's keg filling. Canning's a little more involved. So all those can pallets that you saw over there, again, those are empty. Those pallets get loaded into this depalletizer where they get lifted up. One row of cans get pushed onto a conveyor at a time. They come down this chute where they get flipped upside down. They get a quick spritz of cold filtered water, date code printed on the bottom of the can. And then they get flipped right side up again so they can get purged to CO2, which pushes out the oxygen. Then filled with beer, and a lid goes on the can. That lid gets curled around the can and crimped tight. Those cans will come down this labeler here, where if it's a non-printed can, what we call a bright can, the label will be automatically applied. And then this table here is where every can is lovingly packed by hand into trays. The can carriers are applied. 80 cases go on a pallet, gets stretch filmed, and then into cold storage.
Let's go into cold
Yeah,
storage.
let's check out a cooler full of beer.
I won't be cold because I got my vest on.
How many cans do we do a day?
So it depends on the run, but we've done as many as 600 cases before in a day.
It was a long ass day.
What's the shelf life of a brand new can? Like how long will it stay fresh, considered fresh?
Yeah, so for our hoppy beers like
Yeah.
Keeper and Fiver,
Yeah.
we're looking at 90 days.
90 days.
Yeah, for some of the stuff that's not quite as hoppy, like our lager or our white ale, it's 180 days.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Pretty
those
good.
hops that'll fade.
Yeah.
It's not going to go bad. The beer's not going to hurt you. It's just not going to taste as
It's
vibrant.
not gonna have as
Not going to have that pop.
perfect.
That's
taste
it.
to it,
Yeah, exactly. So all of our finished product gets stored cold. We store it cold here. Our distributors store it cold in their warehouses. It just really helps to prolong the shelf life of the beer, make sure that it's tasting as great as possible when it gets to the consumer. And pretty much everything that you see up in the racking will get sold right here in the tap room. Everything that's on the floor itself, that's destined for distribution.
That's going out.
Yeah, so we're shipping beer throughout Mass, Connecticut, and Rhode Island right now.
Nice.
We've got distributors picking up 3-4 days a week.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How much beer is in a small keg, the smaller kegs?
So the logs that you see over there,
Yep.
that's just over 5 gallons. It's about 40 beers. Half barrels are 3 times that, about 120 beers a keg.
Yeah, I remember my college days, you know. The big ones are tough to float.
Yeah.
You put them in the ice, and when they start floating to the top, get another one.
That's bad side.
But you're not using no college kids buying an IPA. Trust me, it's
No.
it's
no.
Ice House or
Yeah,
something
not
like
yet.
that.
It's whatever's on sale that week.
What's the cheapest thing we can get? Exactly. As far as the beer staying fresh, does it stay the same between a keg and a can? Like,
Generally speaking, it'll stay fresher a little longer in a keg.
Okay.
Storing it in bulk package like that kind of helps to extend the shelf life.
okay. I have these. My wheels are turning for a small keg, the log keg, in my house somewhere.
Like
love
the
that.
bar. It's bar area, right?
I don't have a bar area. I don't have a bar area. This guy's got the bar area.
Those things are easy to hide, man.
I
Trust
know.
me.
Well, I was thinking, my dad, you know, like my dad had
Like
a
a
old
bathroom
school
sink?
kegerator. When I was a kid, he had a kegerator.
Oh, yeah.
Had the old style thing on it. You know, he had the little keg in there.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
you
little
do.
kegerator. You know, it'd be perfect.
You swing it in here, you can pick up your keg. Let's go.
So the other two things that we're storing here, number one is our hop library. So hops are a lot like beer.
So if I open this up, will it just smell insane? Can I open it up?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I'm at a dispensary. Whoa!
Oh yeah.
That's
you can dip
amazing.
the mask if you need to. Yeah. So over here, these are just a bunch of miscellaneous hops that we use on usually R&D beers, but anything that we're using in bulk, we're buying 44-pound boxes of, and usually for like a 30-barrel run of keeper, it'll get a couple of boxes of hops in every single batch.
So where does the hops actually come from? Like, where is the sourcing of where this is all coming
Yeah,
from?
so most of ours are grown in the Pacific Northwest, so Yakima Valley, Washington, and Oregon as well. We do store some hops from Australia, New Zealand, some European varieties as well. It really depends what you're looking for. Hops are a lot like grapes in that there's terroir. So you're going to get different flavors and aromas in hop and hop X that grows in Australia versus if you grow that exact same hop in
So if
the
you had
Cascade Valley.
if you had consistently the same hops from one specific beer, say
Yeah.
this beer for example, and you changed it up to a different one, that beer tastes completely different?
It could, for sure.
Okay.
So we're actually contracting our hops out up to 5 years out.
Wow.
So we have no idea what our production is going to look like next year, let alone 5 years from now. But because they're agricultural and because we need to kind of protect ourselves from that variety, we're locking in hop contracts based on a couple of assumptions.
Wow.
That's actually fairly common in the industry.
Yeah. Because if you don't have hops, guess what?
Yeah, you're out.
You're SOL.
Exactly. You got it. You got it. The other thing that we're storing in here, we've got a QC library right behind us here. So every batch of beer that we make, it needs a little bit of cleaning and organization, but every single batch of beer that we make is fine. We'll store 1 or 2 4-packs cold and 1 or 2 4-packs warm in our lab.
Yeah.
And so we can see how those beers are going to age over time, replicating market conditions. So if it's sitting on a shelf versus sitting in a cooler.
Yeah.
And that also helps us to identify any issues with quality, consistency, or stability, which thankfully we really haven't had any, but that's because we're able to watch it.
All right, well, we're going to now do the best part of the show. We're going to sit down and have some lovely beer, which, when in Rome, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, you came all this way.
Let's go! Come on!
Put it just for it.
You can't get any fresher than this right here. This isn't me going to the Route 1 liquor store. This is being at the actual place where it was just canned. Now I'm going to go drink it. Come on.
Hell fucking yeah, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
So one thing we always love to show people on tours is the sign above our loading dock. If you're not proud of it, don't ship it. Believe it or not, that actually came with the building. We saw it when we were touring as prospective tenants. And it hit us right in the feels, and we've really taken it, to heart now. So it drives pretty much every decision we make here. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's something Bill Belichick would do. Put a sign up there. If you're not proud of your performance, don't go out there. Or your ass is cut. All right, so we're back here from the tour. We did the tour, now we're sitting down. Here with Adam, owner of Castle Island. Our lovely man, Dan O'Brien, is limited in what he can say right now because he has no microphone. So we're silencing Dan.
I'm gonna drink though.
But he's gonna drink, so he's included in our.
You can be my translator.
I will translate. I'll be the translator for Dan.
You're like the guy.
I'm the
sign language.
I'm the sign language guy. So he's gonna love it. Okay, so Dan is gonna be more of the silent guy, but I want to talk to Adam here a little bit about, how Castle Island came to be what it is today. I love the journey. So asking the questions on where you started, how it happened, and just how it came to be. So Adam, welcome to the Dan and Ninko Show. We're happy to be here. Thanks for having us. We have some lovely beverages in front of us. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you. And I want to ask, the first question that I want to ask you is, what was your first experience in brewing beer? How did it happen? How did this happen? How did it all come to be?
Yeah, so I was always really into cooking, even as a young kid. And I started getting into the craft beer scene as a consumer like late 2007, early 2008. Someone in 2009 bought me a homebrew kit as a gift. Sat in my closet for like 6 months, excuse me, just collecting dust.
Yeah.
And then one day I was bored, I decided to pull it out and make some beer. And I had so much fun doing it that I went out to the homebrew store, bought a second kit, came back, started the second batch at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, brewed until 3 in the morning, and I just was hooked. I love the idea I could create these
homebrew
ingredients.
kit to multi-billion-dollar building. From that point on, once you did that first homebrew kit, what was like the kickstart, like, hey, like this is what I want to do?
So there were a couple more steps between brewing on the stove and this.
And what were you doing before that point?
Yeah, so I was a consultant.
Consultant? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was an executive compensation consultant. So we told companies how much to pay their CEO and CFO. And I did that through the housing crisis. This is like the pivotal part
right
of the
there,
story.
2008, 2009.
I did it like 08, 09, right through the housing crisis, the financial crisis, and we were writing like 7, 8, sometimes 9-figure pay packages for these execs. And simultaneously, I'm watching like my parents' generation just lose all their retirement savings. And it was kind of heartbreaking and soul-crushing to a degree. So in 2010, I decided to go work at a brewery for fun. I was like, I want out. I need to do something different. I'd been homebrewing, as I told you, but I had no experience with commercial brewing. So I took an unpaid apprenticeship. Wow. Lived off of savings for 6 months. And day one, they had me picking hops off the vine, scrubbing floors, and they're like, this is what life is like as a brewer. You sure you want to do this?
That's cool.
So I did that for 6 months, stayed on for a year after to do sales and marketing, and just fell in love with it. I love the idea that I could make a physical product I can put in someone's hands. It's better than a spreadsheet. Yeah. And I love the idea that like this product made people happy. Like it brought joy to people.
It makes me happy.
It's a really simple mission, man, but someone's got to do it, you know?
So I should probably tell you a funny story. I, as a football player, former football player now, but I wasn't like a big IPA, like craft beer guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, me and my wife, after I retire, first time, you know, I can ski, we go up to Stowe, and we go to the Alchemist, right? And I have no idea what, like, a good beer, I don't know what, like, good craft beer is. So somebody says, like, oh, you're in Stowe? Go to the Alchemist. I'm like, okay. So I pull up, there's no lines, there's nobody there. Like, I'm like, okay, it's like just open. So I walk in, and the girl's working. I'm like, so what's the most popular beer here? Like, what do people get? And she kind of looked at me like, what?
First time?
Yeah. Like, are you virgin? Are you virgin? Obviously you're a virgin. You're a virgin. There's a 2-case limit on what you can get here. So I'm like, all right, well, just give me 2 cases of that. Threw it in my truck, and then like 2 hours later, we happened to drive past that. There was literally like crazy amount of people, line. I'm like, it's just beer. It's just beer. And then, you know, one of my relatives he does like beer trading. He's like, you went to the Alchemist? I'm like, yeah. I went to that. He's like, you got beer? I said, yeah, I got like 2 cases of it. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's beer. He's like, no. That's like the holy grail of beers. I'm like, well, I'm going to drink the holy grail of beers then. And I have chosen wisely then.
And did it deliver?
It delivered.
Yeah.
I like the whole in can, keep it in the can thing.
Yeah.
You know, like don't pour it out. Because, you know, you have some beers where like, you know, put it in your little glass and all that stuff. For me, it's like, okay, it's cold. It's in the beer. Like this beer, my favorite beer. This beer here.
Ooh.
So for me, this beer in particular, I mean, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but like this does exactly what I need it to do. I enjoy it. It's very good. I don't have to drive 3 hours to go get a exclusive beer. I just go right down the street to Castle Island. But the beer thing, like you've kind of been on this journey from 2009. It's almost like, you know, the coffee and like the coffee beans and the wineries and like the CBD companies, like you started probably before the big shift. I would probably say in the last like what, 5 years, like everyone's opened breweries. Like it's like a brewery, like, oh, you see all these different brewers. Like I feel like in 2009, that was kind of like before the big push.
2009 was early.
Yeah, early, definitely.
2012 is when it started to really accelerate.
Yes.
And when we opened at the very end of 2015 is when it started to get I don't want to say out of hand, but
Well, just
pretty
everybody
nuts.
was like, oh, I'm going to open a brewery.
Yeah. So brewery licenses are numbered sequentially in Mass.
Yeah.
Our number's 148. We're now, 5 years later, up to over 220 licensed breweries in the state. So it's just bananas the amount of growth.
Which, I mean, at this particular area, do you have food? You have food, correct? Or
We
is
do,
it just
yeah.
like finger foods? Like
No,
what's
we-
finger food. I think like fries and nuggets, pretzels.
Yeah.
Dan likes pretzels.
We've got a great full menu thanks to our friends at Lombardo's over in Randolph who've been doing our catering since we
Nice.
opened last summer. Yeah.
So I did a thing here with Boston Private,
correct.
and I think did they cater that as well? I think they were here.
They very well may have. I
They
can't remember. to be
they might have
honest.
done that, but
Yeah.
we had a great event here. It was awesome. I know COVID has kind of changed the dynamics of what people can do, but we're close. We're close to the end.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
There's light
For
at the
first
end of
time
the
in a year.
So here's another crazy question.
Yeah.
You look like a guy that would wear a vest. What do you think of the vest itself? Because my wife says it's terrible. I go to Bass Pro Shop and I'll find a lovely vest with some corduroy. I see some lovely Castle Island hats over there in corduroy. My favorite, I'm buying that baby blue one. Buying the baby blue one right there. I'll go put it on. Because, I got my Reds Rubbish. I love a good trucker hat or Reds Rubbish. It's just something different, But anyway,
So due respect to the missus, the vest is terrific.
I love the vest.
I have
love
two
the vest.
vests in my office right now. That's not a joke.
I love the vest. I love the hats with the ribbon on them, which
Yep.
Castle Island has a great selection of cool hats and t-shirts and hoodies, whatever you want. You got to come check out some of their stuff, but first of all, you got to have their beer. That's the most important thing. So after the initial, hey, I'm going to jump into this.
Yeah.
How did this building in particular, you were looking for places to go, how did you decide on this location?
Yeah, so this actually kind of dovetails with, believe it or not, is the number one question that we get, which is, all right, you guys are called Castle Island, but you're in Norwood, not Southie. What's up with that? So I've lived in Southie for the last, 2021, 11 years now. It's my favorite place in the city. I'm a block away from the actual Castle Island. And in 2010, when I started writing the business plan, I'm thinking, hey, Castle Island, great name for a brewery. It's got local cachet. It's my favorite place in the city. Let's riff off of that. And on top of that, the trademark was available, which is a really important
That's
small
a big one.
detail.
That's a big
Yeah.
one.
So we started looking for real estate in Southie. I don't think I have to tell you guys how much of a tall order that was.
Probably very expensive.
And space like this just doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
would be condos now in Southie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we started expanding our search outside the city, and we found this little home here in Norwood, which, the word Norwood doesn't appear in our original business plan.
Except for Dan O'Brien Kia. In Norwood. Which is a great place right off of Route 1.
And honestly, and Dan will tell you, Norwood's been a dream to work with. They love small business. They really rolled out the red carpet for us. We're the first brewery the town has ever had in its history.
Nice.
So they were really willing to, work with us and be part of the learning process. And I think for us, the linchpin, which I showed you guys before, is the sign above our loading dock, which reads, if you're not proud of it, don't ship it. We saw that when we were scoping the place out. We're like, well, this is kind of a sign,
That's pretty
literally and figuratively.
That's a sign.
It
This
is.
is the clouds opening and then
It is.
This is a sign. This is the
Yeah.
place. We need to do it right here.
That's it. And so we went for it. And honestly, it's the best decision we ever could have made.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Just thinking, I love that whole, just the path. And I would say, as a football player and then retiring, I worked with a bank and working with Boston Private Bank.
Yep.
The one thing that I really enjoyed with that process and working with them, I loved asking people, successful people that just came into a business that they loved, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And I would say 9 times out of 10, you're always gonna have your one that's just my dad gave it to me, and oh, awesome! I wish my dad did that.
Sounds nice.
Hey, Grandpa, why didn't you start this? It's but then I would say 9 times out of 10, I was doing something I didn't feel passionate about, I didn't love it, and I just said, screw it, I'm going for it. And I slept on the floor, I mortgaged my house, I just did it. And then to see how things can just shift, and then it just snowballs into like this awesome space and like all these cans just that are about to be filled up with lovely beer. It's just really cool just to watch and hear the story on how that happens. So I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Thank
you gotta,
you. So
we gotta be proud.
We did all of those things. I mortgaged my house. We definitely slept on the floor a lot.
It's so crazy.
And it's fun to look back at 5 years and be like, wow, we kind of did what we came here to do, which is make people happy. But it was a pretty rocky road to get here.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I bet. And it's sleepless nights, and you know that's the one thing that I would say about any successful career. It doesn't matter, and this is one thing that I could say as an athlete, as a business owner, entrepreneur. Dan could probably speak about like the car business and owning different dealerships. There's gonna be bumps in the road. There's gonna be like something that just stops you dead in your tracks. But it's how do you like regroup? How do you learn from it? And when I talk to a group of kids, younger kids, and I tell them like, you know, the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I say, don't listen to that. If you really, really want to do it and you really have a passion for it, if you put all your eggs in that basket, you're gonna be successful.
Yeah.
And even people that I know have done that and they failed, they learned, and they regrouped, and then they went to another thing, but then they learned from that experience, and then they're like off and running. So, you know, for me, I compare it to my football career and just doing the, you know, having injuries, being told you weren't good enough, saying it wasn't gonna happen, and then you get into a situation, you strike it, and you get it, and then it just takes off, and then you look back, you're like, man, how did that happen? How did that happen? So like, it's really cool that Castle Island is what it is today. It's going to continue to grow. What's? Don't you have another thing brewing? Like what's
literally or figuratively?
No, what's brewing right now? What's brewing right now? No, but what's brewing right now? What is it?
So for starters, on our R&D system, we got Palm Side.
Palm Side, that's the one.
Coconut porter.
So no, okay. So when you go through early in the show, that was what I wanted to talk about. When you go through, there's the big ones, and then there's the small one here. I said to myself, this would be nice in my garage. How many gallons is that small one?
About 150 gallons. Manageable.
How much does it cost?
About 150 grand.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. No, I have retirement money that I call it graduation money. Graduation money. I have to make sure that my children can go to school and graduate. They can go and do whatever they want. I can't drive the beautiful Senna. We came here in a Senna. A beautiful Senna. You know McLaren Senna? We'll have to have you out there. You have to check it out.
I've heard of them.
I want to see if you can. I want to see if you can fit in this. I want to see if you can fit in this car. Like if you could. I barely. I feel like I'm like, oh God, I'm a sardine.
Does it have a trunk we can put beer in?
No, there's no trunk. Yeah. Is there a front hatch?
Yeah, front hatch.
Oh, front hatch.
No,
it's
it
a.
doesn't open.
So beer's going on someone's
It's called
lap.
the frunk.
Yeah.
It's called the.
Rob's big.
It's called the frunk.
Keep stacking them.
Some people have frunks. You know, it's like a trunk in the front. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about. All right, so let's move on to these. Dan has been whispering in my ear. He's like, I really want to try these. And he's been patiently waiting.
I've been trying.
Oh, you've been tasting it. Okay, so let's go right to left. The dark one's to the right because you're cheating. So that's your right.
You want to go right to left?
Yeah, we'll go dark to light.
Living on the wild side. I like it.
I like going.
All right, cool.
I'm a dark to light kind of guy, you know.
Okay.
Is it good? Okay, so what is this exactly?
All right, so this is 5. 5 is our 5th anniversary Imperial Stout.
Ooh.
Just came out back in December. So we opened December 11th, 2015. Every year for the last 5 years, we've brewed this big burly Imperial Stout.
It's
11.5% alcohol.
Do you put a beard hair in there? Because when I think big burly,
Just a little bit.
I think beard. I think lumberjack.
If you had like a whole can of this, you'd pass out.
Oh yeah.
Really? What's the alcohol in this? You think?
11.5%.
Wow. Paige, you're picking up the kids. You're picking up the kids today. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Oh wow. I love that.
So like baker's chocolate, dark roast coffee, a little bit of black licorice.
I love the black jelly bean. Nobody likes the
I'm not
black
in on
jelly
that.
bean. When it's Easter and I walk into Del Frisco's, they have the jelly beans. Which, do you ever eat a community jelly bean bowl? Don't do it. You know me, I'm a kind of a germaphobe. You don't eat the community jelly bean.
It just sounds bad.
It's just like, hey, and then you got somebody that's like.
The black rice jelly bean, you eat it and you're like.
So they actually make
Find like the Dr. Pepper one.
They actually, no, Jack, what? Come on, what is this? Starburst jelly beans are good. But anyway, they make a black jelly bean bag of black jelly beans. I love it. It's
All
the best.
licorice.
All black. It's the best. But anyway, I love this. Okay, so
Somebody buy it.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know, the first time I ever had Castle Island beer was on the beach in Nevis.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
3 years ago, I was on a Subaru trip,
Okay.
and they're right here.
Yeah.
And they brought high def.
That is awesome. So yeah, they come in here quite a bit. Turns out it's a good way to take off the edge at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're having some issues. Let's have ourselves one of these.
Let's go down the street, see if we
Go
can
to
work them
Castle
out.
Island, huh? Let's work this thing out.
Tasty, right?
That is good.
So
That's good. And I would say this, I'm just being honest. I'm not a
Yeah.
dark. I'm not a dark guy. But that has like you taste maybe like the coffee in there a little bit.
Yeah.
You taste
Yep.
the coffee, and then if you have too much, you taste the floor.
Oh,
Bingo.
you're sleeping. You're sleeping on the floor.
So I'll let you in a little secret because I know Dan's a home distiller. These barrels right behind us have some of this beer aging.
Really?
Yeah, so every year what we do is we release the next anniversary and release the prior years that's been aged in barrels for up to a year.
So like Utopia type thing.
You got it.
Utopia. I don't know if you can hear Dan. I'm the translator. So with the barrels, I do have a question about a barrel. They're
Sure,
right
yeah.
there. If you can't see them, they're right there. When you have it in the barrel,
Yeah.
you have to recarbonate it to get it going? Because it can't be carbonated in a barrel, right? It would be,
No, so we put it in the barrels flat.
And it's just flat sitting there aging, getting darker.
You got it. It's interacting with the wood. It's going to soak up some of the liquor that was in the wood. They're going to exchange. It's going to oxidize a little bit, which is a good thing.
Yep.
And it's really going to evolve, and you're going to get different flavors that you can only get from wood barrels like that.
Wow, that's cool.
And then we'll take it out. Then we'll carbonate it.
So
and
whoever's
package it.
making that batch, the pressure's on. Like,
Oh yeah.
you can't mess this thing up because these have been aging a long time.
For sure.
Don't mess it up.
Oh, so you started at 5 years. So every year you're gonna release a new barrel.
So in other words, like our second anniversary, we did barrel aged 1
Yeah.
and regular 2. So this year we've got barrel aged 5 coming out alongside 6 this December. Yeah.
Cool. So would you say that if you had the oldest aged,
Yeah.
and you compared it to like a newer, like you could really just like it would be darker, like more rich flavor?
Yeah, you can definitely tell a difference. I mean, the oak itself imparts a ton of different flavors. You
Yeah.
get tobacco, you get char, you get vanillin, which is this vanilla-like texture and flavor that
Yeah.
really just amplifies. But every batch is a little bit different. The cool thing about these oak barrels is, so we're in a big warehouse that's not air conditioned. As the temperature goes up, the barrels swell. As it gets colder, they come back down. And the barrels literally breathe like that.
Wow,
That breathing process is going to create variation that you just can't replicate.
That's
so you're
cool.
going to get variety there.
that's really cool. So what's this middle one right here? This one that Dan is salivating over.
I was telling you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was good.
That's really
So
good.
in the middle cup here, this is our #1 seller. This is Keeper. Keeper's one of the 2 beers that we opened the brewery with. It's about 50% of our sales. We call it, it's kind of a hybrid West Coast, East Coast IPA. So not ultra bitter like some of the West Coast IPAs, but the flavors that you get are very traditional West Coast. Grapefruit, pine, citrus. 6.5% alcohol by volume.
Okay, when you say fruit, pine, citrus,
Yeah.
that is made through the hops, the
That's
combination of
all
the hops?
coming from the hops, yeah. So this
Wow.
beer only has 4
So
ingredients.
in my head, I know that sounds really stupid. I'd be like, oh, they put some citrus in there. They put some,
orange,
yeah.
drop it in.
Just say throw some orange
Doesn't
peels.
sound stupid at all.
You know-
And we do that with another one of our beers.
Yeah, I'll throw some orange peels. Let's put some vanilla stock in there.
Yeah.
Let's see how it comes out.
Gummy bears and that thing.
So
Yeah.
the really cool thing about hops is a lot of the chemicals, the essential oils in the hops
Ooh.
are really reminiscent of
I like that.
other things. Fruits, flowers, trees, you name it. And the way that you mix those hops together and the way they interact with the grain and interact with the yeast and even the water can give you different flavors. So the grapefruit in this is primarily coming from a hop called Cascade, which is known for being this really grapefruit forward hop.
Wow.
There's also a hop called
It's
Simcoe
really
in there
good.
that's like dank and sticky. So if it smells kind of like cannabis,
Yeah.
that's coming from the Simcoe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if there was like a Ninko brew, like a Ninkovich brew, it would be like cedar, pine, you know?
What if it was number 50? Because it would change a little bit right now.
So
I don't know. 50,
Like
50,
a blondie.
50 now looks like my golden retriever, but you know. Maybe there's some dog in them. We'll see.
Rob, you might not know this, but you actually have a beer at Castle Island.
Do I have a beer?
So the very
Here?
first event we did with you in Boston Private, because I haven't told them.
Oh.
Very first
No,
event we did with Boston Private,
we did a
had
different
cans
brew.
of lager.
Yeah.
This was at the bank. And
Oh,
you
this
took
is-
a lime and you squeezed it into the lager. And I watched you do that because I'd never seen it done before with our
Yeah.
beer. And I tried it and I was like, holy
That's
crap,
good. Yeah,
this
it's
is
really
amazing.
good. Lager with a lime.
And so we do that now. So you
I
have
need
a
my
beer
royalties.
here.
I need my royalties. I mean, no, but I like. So last night.
Go grab the R&D kit, take it as royalty.
No, I just want to do the small kit, and then we're gonna work together. I want them to say like, this is how you do it. And I'd love to see how you do it. But anyway, last night, Taco Tuesday. This is Wednesday. We're filming on Wednesday, but Taco Tuesday. I like to do, if you're feeling like changing it up, I put a lime in just my beer, whatever beer it is. It doesn't matter. It just kind of gives it a little, like a different taste, So that's what I was doing that particular night. I don't know why.
You inspired us, man.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm inspiring beer. I'm inspiring youth. Inspiring Dan to grow his beard out. Look at the beard. It's because of me.
Not even close.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Is this COVID compliant? I gotta ask.
No, it catches anything.
Yeah, it gets
Perfect.
It catches everything.
viewed at this point.
So when the largest I've ever had a beard was probably half of that. And anytime I trim it, he's like, "You're a wuss." He's like, "Come on, why are you trimming your beard up?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I work on TV. I gotta look a certain way."
I'm on TV.
Yeah, nationally, ESPN, they're probably like, just trim it up a little bit. Get a little trim here.
Shoe polish in it.
I do a little black, come on.
ESPN's not a Steinbrenner organization.
No,
you're allowed to have
you're right.
facial hair.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why I got the beard. Come on. If I shaved, I'd look weird. My nose would grow.
Shave it.
We should shave it. You know what we could do? We could shave our beards for charity. I bet you'd raise like 500 G's. It grows back.
She gets mad if I trim.
Well, when I take mine off, I shave my beard and I forgot I have a double chin. So,
Throw that shit back.
I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm shaving my beard off. My little girl had never seen me without a beard. As I'm taking the beard off, she's going, oh. She's going, ah. And then when I took it all off, she goes, oh no. And she started crying. I'm like, you don't like this? She goes, put it back. I'm like, it's gonna take a couple weeks, babe. But anyway,
There's no switch you can flip.
it doesn't. Good thing I have the Croatian genes because it comes back pretty quick. All right, so this looks
All
like
right.
a light. This looks like the light beer.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you. We kind of did this in reverse order, but
I like to go dark to light.
No, I'm fine with it. This is one of my favorite beers we make. It's like a top 3 for me.
Okay.
This beer is Bohemian Shine.
Yep.
It's a Bohemian style Pilsner or Czech style Pilsner.
Is that the white can?
It's not actually. That's a totally different beer. This one's red and white.
Yeah.
This one won gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival a couple years ago. It's medaled in a couple other competitions as well.
Did you taste it yet?
No, I haven't tasted it.
It's
Okay.
light, it's crisp,
I tasted
it's
the other
hoppy.
one.
Yeah, I know.
It's honestly, it's liquid sunshine. It's just
Liquid
delicious.
sunshine.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Okay, here we go. Liquid sunshine. Let's go to Florida.
I agree. That's great.
It's a great beer.
Can we get a picture, please? Can we get a picture? This is really good. So,
It's tasty,
okay,
right?
the process of making this beer versus that beer.
Yeah.
Is this a easier process because it's super light or
Way
harder?
harder.
Way harder.
Way harder. So believe it or not,
Yeah. You would think light.
everyone does. It's a little counterintuitive. So lighter beers, there's not as much to hide behind. So with a beer like 5,
You could have-
you got these big, bold, roasty flavors.
Yeah.
Not to say this is a poorly made beer, it's not, but there's just more going on. With a beer like this is all about flawless execution. This is like a vanilla ice cream.
It's like
Or a
champagne.
cheese
It's like
pizza.
a champagne of beer. You got to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Like you go to an Italian restaurant, how good is their spaghetti marinara? That's the test. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I grew up, so like, for example, like I'm a Midwest guy.
Yeah,
my dad was an iron worker. He wasn't like an IPA. My dad's not coming home with a 4-pack. Mike Ninkovich, we call him Captain Insano, isn't coming home. He's not coming home with a freaking 4-pack of an IPA. He's coming home with High Life, banquet beer, the
Yep.
freaking.
That's a good day.
That's like the champagne of beers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
That's a great, like, it's summertime, you know, he's got he works 7 days a week for 40 years. If he had a day off, he'd come home with a High Life. And, you know, when I was a kid, you know, when you're a kid and you're 18, 19, what do? You snag whatever you got in the fridge, you know? So I was sipping on High Lifes. So to this day, in the summer,
little 9-year-old Ninko.
oh, just.
High life in it.
So Pop, don't be mad. Don't be mad at this. But my dad was always, you know, my dad was a hardworking man. He'd enjoyed his beer. So when I was a kid, he used to give me a swig. You know, he'd give me a swig or whatever. Like, here, have a swig. And that's not terrible. When I was a kid, I'm like, okay, I did it. Great.
Yeah,
I'm like my dad. He's my hero. I want to be like my dad. So, you know, the High Life. This summer, we were back at my parents because of COVID. I was like, all right, Paige, let's get the kids, let's get in the truck, let's drive to Chicago. I filled the cooler up with High Lifes when we were at the pool at my parents' house, and it was like 90 degrees in Chicago, and I was drinking High Lifes. It was like very easy.
Oh yeah.
Very easy, very easy. But if they're anywhere near warm, they're terrible. We won't get into that.
Ice cold is the way.
Ice cold. If they're ice cold, it's really good. And usually, and you were like, weren't you skeptical until you tried an ice cold one, or you like the High Lifes?
I always like High Life. High Life's good because it's like carbonated.
Yeah, it's like
good
it's
for,
just
like,
you know, and it's
in
you know, for me, with a something like that, you know, it's in glass. You just out of glass. It's easy. It's simple.
Oh, you gotta drink it out of a can.
Oh, what?
Ooh, you're a
What?
can guy. You're a bottle
There's
guy.
a can.
No. High Life's good out of a can.
No, you can't get a High Life in a can you?
You can.
I didn't know that because guess
Can,
what?
Yeah.
If you get like a. It only comes in
You
like
learned something
48.
today.
That blows my mind because like.
It only comes in 48. You have to get like the biggest pack possible.
Oh.
They don't make them as small.
Yeah, but so like there's a difference between that. Like when you're drinking a High Life in a bottle, you feel like, you know, I'm popping bottles. I'm in the club popping bottles.
It's the best, but it has like a different
This is
taste.
different. This is like the real deal because you know, you got a pint.
How many bottles are back there?
There's no bottles, but this is different. This is a higher class.
gives it something.
This is a higher class because
It
it's
gives
it's an IPA pint. This is a pint. How would you say it in Ireland?
Pint.
A pint. Have yourself a pint. Have yourself a pint. Have yourself a pint.
It's in Croatia where we're saying something
No,
like,
Croatia, it's like have yourself a rock, and you're just biting a rock. You know. My wife's Croatian. My wife, Paige, hey, she's half. When I met Paige, I'm like, Paige. Her last name, her maiden name was Popic. I'm like, Popic, is that Croatian? She goes, yeah, I'm half. I'm like, we're getting married. We gotta get married. We gotta get married.
You knock her out and like put her over your shoulder.
I said, me man love woman. You come me. We make child, you know. And then we made, you know, 3 kids.
It's a wonderful story.
Chase, come on. You know I'm not hating, but bro, let's go, baby. Anyway, my
man.
boys are blonde blue. My boys are blonde blue. My boys are gonna have blonde blue. But all right, so let's take a break.
Cool.
Let's regroup here, and we need some more. All right. So we're back, the Dan and Ninko Show at Castle Island. We've switched the mics. Now I am going to relay the message to Dan, and Dan now has a mic, so he has a voice.
Yes.
He has a voice. So he's very excited about the beers that are in front of us. These are 3 different beers.
Because the last 3 were really good.
They were really good.
Yeah.
But before we get into the beer, I want to get into Jimmy Garoppolo talk. I want to talk a little Patriot talk. He doesn't want to talk about the Patriots.
No, I want
He
to
doesn't
talk about
wanna
the Patriots.
Adam doesn't care about these. Like, what are we talking about?
I'll
Let's
talk about the
beer.
Patriots, but I don't want to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo.
I want to talk about Jimmy G.
He's not going to be there.
He's gonna be here. He's gonna be our quarterback. He's gonna be the quarterback. Okay, so if Jimmy G isn't our quarterback, if he's not traded here, what should I do? What should we put on this? Should I jump in an ice cold lake? Like, what should we do? Should we do something crazy? Jimmy G is gonna be the quarterback for the Patriots in 2021.
I think.
I'll take a shot at Jameson.
And you're not going to like this.
Which Jameson's great.
You're not going to like this.
Are they partners with Castle? You guys have something going on?
Partner with 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Jameson. Get a bottle of Jameson. We're going to put it on there.
Give Rob a shot of Jameson and let's see what happens.
Look, I got to drive the Senna home. I told Paige I bought the Senna, $1 million. It's okay. I only played 11 years of football.
I know you're not going to like this, but the quarterback of the Patriots is going to be Cam Newton. and a rookie. And a first-round pick. Jimmy G can't stay healthy. You know that as well as I do.
I just threw up in my mouth.
He doesn't stay on the field.
Oh. And Cam Newton, you'd rather a quarterback that can't throw the ball 10 yards, but you want to...
I'm not saying I'd rather that. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
What's going to happen is this is going to happen right now.
You can't do this.
Come on in the scene. This is our...
punishing you with a choice.
You're punishing me with...
You're not going to be able to handle either.
Asian IPA barrels or black barrel. Special reserve.
I'm more of a black barrel guy, I would say, but let's put these on the table for some advertisement. Okay? Jameson. Thank you so much.
You have the Rob Ninkovich approval already?
No, well, you're Irish, so this stuff is basically in your blood. Like when
it's easy.
You get an IV, you're like, give me Jameson, and then you're back. Okay, so anyway, Cam Newton. Okay, what are you gonna pay Cam Newton? $10 million?
No.
Exactly.
You pay him like a 1 year, $5 million deal.
Is he gonna take? He's not gonna take $5 million.
What else is he gonna get?
He's gonna be retired or something.
No,
Nobody's gonna pay him anything.
He'll get a job.
All right, so let's settle this.
Here, how about this? What do you think of the Trent Brown trade?
I love Trent Brown.
I love that.
Because guess what? Trent Brown was the only guy that I told myself in the game, Rob, don't be discouraged. He's a big man. Yeah. I know I can't set the edge on him, but we're gonna get through this game.
Yeah,
and as my last year playing, I'm like, this dude, like he was so big, so heavy, so fast. He was. When he said the trade on his Instagram, he posted he was being traded back to New England. I put the only player I've ever said to myself, I can't set the edge. I can't set it. I was on skates, like ice skates. Like he's just too
I'll never
big.
forget when I met him. He was at a table like this height, and his knees were like here.
No, he would
I've
drink.
never seen a human being like that.
This was like 2 bottles of Jameson.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I'd be sleeping.
I mean, you're gonna lose Tooney.
Tooney's gone. Tooney's going to Arizona. That's where I'm thinking he's going.
But you have a really good offensive
might lose
line.
David Andrews. I think David's gone too. David's going to Miami.
I don't think he is.
He's going somewhere else. They're not going to sign him.
Who's going to be the center?
A rookie or somebody that Bill signs.
Yeah.
You know.
They'll sign Andrews. They got a bunch of money. They get like $65 million right now.
They'll
restructure Cannon. They'll restructure Hightower. They'll restructure McCourty. And they'll pick up a bunch of money. Are you still on the Jimmy G bandwagon, by the way?
Yes, I love Jimmy G.
Are you on the
Chi-Town? He's a Chi-Town guy. He's from Chicago.
Are you still
on if you know anything about Chicago, those guys stick together, just like the Bears. The Bears.
So
okay?
you're on the bandwagon then of the guy that wears your number right now, taking topless photos of himself?
All right, so let's just say Winovich, he likes to, he's got a physique. He's got a physique.
He's a Vitch and he's 50.
He is a bitch, but he's Serbian. So, hey, you know what Serbian and Croatian is? A war. A war. So let's just pump the brakes on Serbian. I'm Croatian. If you went to Yugoslavia, there is no more Yugoslavia. Why? Because there was a war between religion. It was your Croatians, which is your Catholic, and your Serbian, which is a different. There's a big deal. A lot of people died. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, but anyway, let's get into the topless photo.
Let's get in.
Did he represent number 50 well for the Patriots?
At least he had a gun in his hand. I mean, at least he had a gun. Because I would say he needs to.
You sent it to me. Well, what did you think the first thing when you saw that?
He's got to beef up. He's looking real skinny. You got to set the edge. It's an edge-setting league.
But what happens in practice going against Trent Brown? That Winovich is going against Trent Brown.
I don't know, because I was 260 and I couldn't stop Trent Brown.
Yeah. Do you think he's just going to throw him from like one sideline to the other? Like just
He would probably hope to be the other way, to be on the other side. Just pray, please, not
But
on
who's
this
on the
side.
other side? You got Cannon on the other side?
It's going to be it's a bad way. It's a bad way. So you would hope that maybe.
So you continue the tradition from Vrabel, right? Vrabel was 50, then it was Ninkovich, and now it's Winovich. So what do you think of it?
He's got to start, and he's got to play, and he's got to be an every down player. He still hasn't done it yet, so he's still got time. He's still a young guy.
Since we talk about cars, what did Vrabel drive into the stadium every day?
Vrabel probably drove a truck.
What did you drive?
A truck.
And what does Winovich drive?
A Mazda Miata. It's a little different.
With a fluffy dog, right?
And he's got a fluffy dog. It's okay. I got a fluffy dog. I got a golden retriever. But I had a Mastiff when I played. So,
Yeah.
you know.
So
I had an
carry
English
the-
Mastiff when I played football. Yeah.
Some big dog energy.
It's a big dog energy. That's right. Big
So-
dog.
so-
200 pounds.
Are you
Ruby.
okay? Like the first game, if I wear a Ninkovich jersey and just put like tape on the
Well,
Ninko?
I've seen
and put
people
Winnow-
with Ninkovich jerseys and they tape over the Nink and they just put Win.
Winnow.
And that's Winovich. So
How bad does that make you?
That makes me a little angry. I'm not gonna lie. So, Adam, what is this hazy beer? Let's move on. This one here,
No, what are we
it's got a
doing?
little bit of
This is our
The
white
haze?
ale.
white ale.
Yeah, so
think-
Belgian style wheat beer.
I think Paige loves a Belgian style wheat. Paige, my wife, she loves this one. When she goes to the store, she'll get me my. Oh,
Oh, wow.
that is a. On film,
Up in aisle 6.
on camera with the spill. It's okay, we have plenty.
Yeah.
But she'll buy me the fiver, and then she gets this one exactly. So let's go with this one. It's a little
That was a Winovich.
blonde.
So Dan was joking before about throwing oranges in the beer.
Is this the orange in the beer?
The orange in the beer.
So like, do you take the peel or actually like the fruit of the orange?
Peel, juice, and essential oils.
Peel, juice, and essential oil.
You got it.
Hold on. We need a. There it is. Little, very small cleanup.
Very small.
That's a small. That was a quick pickup. Thank you.
Winovich didn't have his shirt on, didn't spill anything.
You would listen. I haven't had an ab ever in my life, so I used to have bugle.
have an ab.
My mom would say, "Bugle Boy Huskies are for big bone boys," and I'd say, "Mom, I'm fat." And she'd say, "No, you're not fat. You're big bone." And my sister would make me count my rolls and do the truffle shuffle. So that's not an issue.
Yeah. Where are we at now?
Yeah, Rob, do the truffle shuffle for my friends. I'd say, and I'd be like, do I have a complex because I had a belly at 10? Maybe. Okay. That's a Paige Popich Ninkovich drink right there. It's good, but like I'm not a huge orange peel guy.
You're a lime guy.
I love lime. Just, whew. So we had, last night, Taco Tuesday, we did, I'm having a brain fart. Mexican beer, great Mexican beer. In the bottle with the gold, Modelo.
Yeah.
You go Modelo, a couple limes. What?
My wife's Spanish, so we go out, and you go to a
So
place
she
like that,
would-
they throw the
okay.
lime in, and I
Yeah.
just go,
You take the lime out?
yeah. I want to drink the beer itself.
Oh,
Yeah.
He wants the
So I'll have like the dark Modelo.
he'll
and
have
stuff like
the
that.
Corona.
No Corona. No Corona. No.
The Negro Modelo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Respect that.
that is good.
Yeah.
That is good. No lime.
Stuff's good, no lime. Because it doesn't need a lime. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
dark. It's not supposed to have
the
lime
water,
in it.
the water that you can't drink in Mexico,
Yeah.
they make the beer out of, and you're okay after that.
Yeah.
You're sanitary.
It sanitizes the.
Yeah, I mean,
when you go to
we
Mexico,
said- we
they're
said
like,
they
don't
heat-
drink the
they
water.
heat it up to how many degrees? Like,
Yeah, it's
nothing
true.
lives in that.
But
yeah.
they would say,
Nothing
if you go to Mexico and they're like, don't drink the water, you'll be on the pot with Rhea for a week.
You don't drink the water.
You can drink the beer.
Yeah.
So you drink the beer.
Like if you brush your teeth, you grab a beer and like that's what you rinse it out
that's
with.
how you. Yeah. Okay.
that's
So
how you
don't
live.
drink this one yet, because I feel like you're rushing.
Okay. I won't rush.
He's rushing.
We want to talk about Winovich here again?
No, I want to talk about.
What do you
I
wanna
want to
talk
talk about the Patriots in 2021.
Okay.
What is
All
their?
right.
What do you feel like their rec? Do you feel like the Patriots, with all the cap space, they have 56 million in cap?
65 million.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that they can regroup this year?
100%. It's COVID year.
Did you see that? Did you see that Malcolm Butler's a free agent now? Would he have a chance to come back?
Not a chance. The last game he was a part of, he was on the bench.
He was on the bench.
I mean, they lost the Super Bowl and he was on the bench.
The Titans released him today. He's a free agent.
He ain't coming back.
I don't think he'll be
I
back.
could see like Kyle Van Noy back.
I think Kyle could come back.
Yeah, I think Kyle
I
will
think
come
you
back.
could see Kyle back. I really do.
So
But-
I think Kyle is just debating in his head, does he want to handle the practicing of the Patriots? At
I mean, if
stage
he wants to
in his career.
because you basically signed a 1-year contract, this could be a good
So,
chance to.
here,
and
you're
he's
a
got
former
Dan
player.
O'Brien. He's got Dan O'Brien. He comes
Roots.
back. He's got the
Roots.
roots here. He's
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
You can bring out the caricature, and he's got the.
He's all set to go.
You know,
but if you were
he did
his
it
age,
awesome.
if if his agent was your agent, would you choke him out right now?
Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I'd be really mad.
I'd just choke him out.
I'd be
like,
mad.
The life right
But
out of him.
I wouldn't be.
I'd tell him, like, here, I want to see your eyes.
1 year,
leave your
15
body.
million is not a bad deal, but the way that it was structured, probably
The agent screwed that whole thing up.
because it was like what, 30 million guaranteed, but not guaranteed.
Yeah, it was 30 million guaranteed, but 15 was for the first
Injury.
year. 15 was injury.
Yeah, so if he was hurt, he would have been better off.
But he was hurt. He like broke it. He
used to say,
broke
like,
his hand.
I'm
I would have just
hurt.
said, I'm out.
I can't play.
You know, 15 million more. But his agent, I would just choke the life out of, wouldn't you?
I know. Adam,
Sorry, I'm lost in the hops over here.
what's this one?
Yeah.
This is Candlepin.
Candlepin.
Candlepins are pale ale. A little bit of old school. Named
Old
after
school.
Bowling.
I love
The pale
I
ale?
love Candlepin. It's not a Midwest thing. It's not a Midwestern thing. It's more of a New Englander chowder thing.
Is it?
Yeah, Candlepin. I don't know. It's Candlepin.
No, pale ale. That's what
Oh.
you're saying.
No,
Candlepin is.
Candlepin is
Candlepin, yeah.
straight.
I thought
yeah.
you were saying a pale ale is.
Pale
No.
ale is universal.
Yeah.
Universal, but I'm saying the Candlepin itself. There's a few
Basically comes
things.
from New
there's
England
a few
down, like,
things
Pennsylvania.
from like being a Midwestern Illinois kid.
Yeah.
When you come here, you're like, "What's Candlepin?" You're like, "What?" You know.
Yeah.
What's a steamer? You're like, "What?"
Oh, yeah.
And funny story. I ate a steamer without taking the skin off that little thingy.
Oh, why did you
Oh.
do that?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You puke?
I was like, this wiener. I was like, this wiener thing is really rough. Like, who the hell eats this thing? It was terrible. But anyway, that's all right. Move on to this Candlepin.
This is IPA meets light beer.
This is good.
Wow, that is really good.
Really good.
That is tasty.
Yeah.
I like Candlepin.
And you know what? 16-ounce can, 120 calories.
Light.
Oh, yeah.
I can go work out, have
Yeah.
a Candlepin.
Oh, yeah.
He loves counting the calories.
I do count calories. Yeah.
First beer he brought in was Yingling Light.
It's a light
Yeah.
beer. So
It's
you
like
ain't
a
really light.
water with like a little bit of a hint of a beer.
Well, you can drink. You know, I'll do. You see the
I
Peloton.
was going to say,
Yeah.
You see the Peloton push.
you're putting in the effort.
I'll
You
see
may
it.
as well follow
I'll
through.
see 1,200 calories. I'll say that's 9.2 beers. You know, and then it's a balance. It's a
all math.
balance. It's all mathematics. I was terrible at, but calculators are great.
It's good.
Purdue math. Funny story. I went to Purdue, engineering place. Very smart people go to Purdue. Me not being great smart as mathematics, but maybe a football player. So I go to my math class. I sit down. This guy walks in. I couldn't understand him from a different area. I look around. I go, hey, do you understand this guy? Freshman. I'm a junior. The kids are sleeping in there. They're like, huh? What? It's like, yeah, this is like, I did this in sophomore year, advanced calc. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was like in a different language. I get a tutor. I do everything possible. I take the test. There's only 10 questions. I got 2 out of 10 right. I go to the teacher. I say, yeah, I got 2 out of 10. She's like, yeah, you're going to fail this semester. There's only 2 tests. I'm like, better go drop this test. Better go drop the class. So,
What did Papa Ninko think of that?
oh, Papa was like, yeah, it's just, I couldn't pass that either. It's
Yeah. High life down.
high life down. No, but like Purdue math was crazy. It was multiple choice, but they would mess with you. So they would make sure if you made a mistake in your steps, that was one of the answers. So like you could make a mistake and then you plug it back in. You're like, oh look, it works.
Well, just think though, if you had your Monte Carlo going through those gates, if you knew math, it wouldn't have hit the car.
I was in a 2001 blue Monte Carlo SS. The thing was awesome.
Yeah, if you looked at it and you're like, hey, the mathematics of this, if these close at this speed, I'll get
Purdue
hit
was
by
tough.
that.
Purdue was tough.
Rain Man
I
look.
called my mom. I called my mom the first day at Purdue. I called my mom. I said, Ma, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't fit in. I don't look the same. I don't feel
You don't
smart
look
enough.
the same.
I don't feel. I mean, a lot of people come from other places to go to Purdue for engineering.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I was like, I'm not that smart. You know, in my dorm room, I literally.
I thought you would have the same sex
Listen to
as
this.
Chase
Listen to
Winovich
this. Listen to
eating
this.
corn.
In my dorm room, all my friends from my dorm, one's a brain surgeon. The other is a mathematical. He has a master's in math, and he makes algorithms for investors, which is my youngest godfather. So Jimmy, what's up, bro? What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy,
So
come on, Jimmy.
You've made a bunch of money then, right?
No, because I'm afraid, because he's got a little, you know, he works for people that have, like, oh, if we lose 5 million, it's okay. We're gonna make 40 billion. So he works for people.
Money.
Yeah, he works for people that have so much money. They take the algorithm like, that worked, thank you. This didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, we lost 10 million. I'm like, thanks, Jimmy. I'm not doing it. But anyway, let's move on to this lovely
I've been waiting for this.
final, and I know Dan is excited.
Yeah, this is like an apricot
Yeah. So
aged in a Chardonnay barrel.
Real unique beer. This is barrel-aged Bud 12. Apricot sour aged in Sauvignon Blanc barrels.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc. You have to say it like Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
This is for you. You're in the
You
young
gotta
money.
put a pinky up?
Yeah, you're in the young money.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
McCourties tell me all the time you're in young money.
Yeah. Well, they're old money. McCourties combined are old money, trust me. They have their own investing, so that Devin has his own like special investing thing
That literally tastes like a...
that I
like
can't
a-
even get into. What's that
That's very
smell?
different.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's very
different
good.
means,
You get the wine.
That's
with
good.
White
Yeah,
grape
yeah.
And apricot. Yeah.
That's good.
oh. Hold up. Hold on. I know we're in Castle Island, and I have to be biased, but this reminds me of like a cider or something.
This is pretty good.
It has like a,
Don't worry, none taken.
no, I don't want to,
You drink that.
I mean, it has like a wine.
Are you okay?
I'm not a huge fan.
Well, it's aged in wine barrels.
Yeah, it's aged in a Chardonnay barrel. That has like that Chardonnay kick to it.
Oh, man, I don't like this. Hold on.
This is actually really good. Why'd you down it? You like
Get it
sip
over with.
Sip it.
All right.
Look,
You might love that. You might love that. Me.
this is good.
You liked
Tasty,
it.
right?
Oh, it's great.
Very tasty.
It's great. It's great. I love
Are
it.
you okay?
That's great. It's very tart and sharp. I would explain it as sharp and tart.
Yeah, it's got like.
I should have brought Brody. Where do you think Brody would be? So my wife, Paige,
he'd be ripping
before I
something off
left,
the wall.
Paige before I left was like, "You should bring Brody." I'm like, she's like, "I thought he was gonna be your road dog." I'm like, "He's my road dog," but like, he'd be chewing on wires right now. I actually took him to a boot camp, and he's actually better, but he's got the shock collar on. So I hit him with the.
This
and
is really good.
See,
This is good.
I feel like your taste buds have deteriorated.
It's an acquired taste.
It's an acquired
This is good.
taste.
Now, what surprises me is you like pickleback, and he does not
Ah,
like
yes.
pickleback.
Pickle's
That's
disgusting.
the
Do we
surprise
have-
of the century.
Pickle juice, anyone?
No, get that. I'll go to a different table.
So this is okay. This is what we should do. No, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
if you bring out pickle
Jimmy
juice, I'll go to a
G,
different table.
if Jimmy G is the quarterback for the Patriots,
I know what you're gonna say.
you are
Nope.
taking a shot of pickle juice.
Nope. No, that's a chance. It's a chance.
And if he's not,
I think it's
I'll
like a
take
5%
shot.
chance, but I'm not taking the 5%
I'll take a
chance.
shot of Jameson, whatever Jameson you choose. So
No,
you take a shot of pickle
that's not the
juice.
equivalent.
So what's something I hate? I'll take.
I don't know, like stand there and let 4 people kick you in the nuts 5 times in a
Is
row.
that beer?
Yeah.
It feels like a cider to me. I don't.
Here,
This is legally a
here.
beer. I don't.
I'll take the shot of pickle juice if you stand there and let everybody that works here kick you in the nuts.
Nope. That is a terrible.
That's the equivalent.
That is not the equivalent. It's pickles.
I
do you
hate
not eat
pickles.
pickles?
No.
You go and have a burger with fries
Nope.
and a spear.
Nope.
You won't do it.
Nope.
So
It's
not
a-
a pickle guy at all.
It's
No.
a cucumber.
No, my daughter eats pickles and I tell her to go to a different table.
There's some. I think Dan has had a pickle issue when he was a child,
No.
and we need to get
It's
some
disgusting.
type of counselor in here to get that out of
Who
him.
eats something that they put in vinegar and all that stuff?
Dan, what happened to you as a child with pickles?
I don't know.
Did you have a pickle issue?
No.
Maybe the.
I think it's gross.
I don't know.
You eat
know,
pickles?
I love pickles.
Have some Chardonnay apricot.
No, but the pickle isn't that. I love pickles. I love a big,
Here, I'm enjoing this.
Do you like
everybody? Here,
Do you like a
2 out of-
salad with cucumbers?
2 out of 3 are enjoying this beer. You're not.
I'm
right?
just not a fan of that particular,
This is great.
it's sour.
No. The end maybe is a little
It's
bit.
the end. I would rather the fiver. I tell my wife,
Say
say,
fiver?
give me the fiver. She'll be like, what?
You know why we call it fiver?
Why? Why is
5%
that?
of sales go to charity. Yeah, dude.
What charity?
Let's buy everything they got here.
So wait, you want to get another one at $5?
Yeah, can we do a small $5?
Oh yeah.
So okay, so when you came up with this,
recipient charities is Flutie Foundation.
oh, I love the Flutie Foundation.
So basically, the way Fiverr works, we've got 5 charities that we've signed on for an entire year. 5% of sales from this beer fund a pool that those 5 charities split at the end of the year. This year, it's Flutie Foundation, Mass Audubon, Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, Facing History and Ourselves, and Artists for Humanity, located right in South Boston near Castle Island.
Wow, that's
great.
awesome. So Fiverr is actually
5%.
donated 5% to charity locally,
You got it.
which that's amazing. And should I have read that on the can?
It's in there.
Hey, have you had high def
But if,
before?
you know,
I
if
might,
you just
you know,
drink
it's
it,
like-
you're gonna miss it.
Have you had high def
Yeah, it's
before?
there.
I haven't had high def, no.
I think we should do a high
haven't had
def
high
too.
def?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
high
had
def
high
is
def.
really good.
Oh man, high def.
Yeah, high
Okay.
def is great.
So this, pass it along.
I had high def in Nevis. I
So
finished
wanna
around
see
like
the
3
difference
o'clock.
between a keg. What's that?
I finished around 3 o'clock when I had a bunch of high def, and then I remember at like 9, 10 a.m. the next morning.
It's a little bit different
Well,
out of the
well,
keg.
The
Out
$5?
of that
Yeah.
can you're drinking is off the packaging line this morning.
Okay.
This keg is.
That's really good.
The back half of that off the line was great.
No, but this is
The front half was kind of like a
The
light
front
beer.
half tasted different.
Yeah.
But this here is really good.
This
Is this
smells.
what you're used to? You're expecting?
This is really good.
This is better, obviously, than the can.
It's really good.
Yeah. This is.
Just think,
This
5%
is unbelievable.
of every sip is helping a charity.
Okay, so
Charity.
that is probably why I love it so much. So if you are watching this, just go out and get some Fiverr. It's really good. This is the high def. But the I
It's
mean,
like gasoline.
is it like gasoline?
Yeah, I mean, it's the gasoline of like an IPA.
So what-
type
okay,
beer.
so-
Gasoline tasted that good.
Yeah.
What
But
when you were
just
making
comparatively, you know,
when you were making this in particular,
Yeah.
was that for just like the kick in the you know what? Like do you have one thing that is just like the big bang, or is that the
that's
one
the
we were?
5.
Well, no, because 5 is a one-time deal. High def is
Yeah,
year-round.
high
High
def-
def is like
High def
Buckle
is
yourself in
buckle
the tower.
yourself
You're not
in.
going anywhere
You're
tonight.
you're
But so
like
is the 5 though. If you had a can of 5,
definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, like you're done.
So what's the alcohol content on this? This is high def.
High def is 8.4.
8.4.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's kind of akin to like the heady topper that you were talking
Yes.
about before.
Okay. So when you see the heady topper and it says drinkable, like what is?
It's basically like here. What we're drinking right now is the Ninkovich, and this is the Winovich. Like that's what it is.
So are you saying that I'm more potent?
No, you're just like easier to tolerate.
Oh, I'm easier to tolerate. Let's not be disrespectful here, okay, Dan? Because there's a switch that can be flipped, and then I can't go back. And when you go full crazy, nobody can stop me. Only a fire extinguisher can cool me down.
Or Tom Brady.
We have a few.
I'm sure. When you got this location,
Yeah.
was it just like an open space and you had to just basically like make everything? Like this was just all open.
Yeah.
All open.
So this was a cleaning supply warehouse.
Cleaning
so it's just
supply warehouse.
Pallet racking storage.
Yes. Yes.
And at one point, it was a UPS vehicle repair facility. So there
Oh,
were like
so, okay.
boom cranes, there's an oil pit back
Yeah,
there.
so like a bunch of nastiness.
Yeah, it's been a number of things.
So when you bring in the water to make the beer, like
Yeah.
do you guys have to filter that, or like what is the price? Is it just public?
We run it through a carbon filter. Just
Yeah.
like people have in their homes to
Yeah.
strip out chlorine.
Yeah.
Chlorine and yeast don't really
Yeah.
get along.
Yes.
But outside of that, it's pretty solid water.
Good water, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a home filter because Foxborough water might be from the reservoir. So I don't know if you want to drink
How
the
many times you
Foxborough
peed
water.
in that water?
So yeah, anytime I'm swimming, no, you don't swim in the reservoir, okay? Unless you want like, something growing out of your head. But no, this is a nice space. Are those all stainless?
All stainless.
Everything's stainless.
You got it.
Wow. No, it's definitely impressive.
How it stays sanitary.
This might be a sensitive subject, but what does one stainless tube cost? Just one. I don't need to know the whole thing.
Tanks delivered and installed.
Where do they make the tank?
Hold on, he isn't a mic, but one of those tanks, he's saying how much it is.
How much is one tank? Where are they made? Where are the tanks made? Are they?
China and the West Coast.
China and the West Coast.
So Wuhan.
Wuhan, China. Let's not say that. Okay, that's not accurate. That is very false information. We're gonna put the
Beijing.
false information on Dan O'Brien right now.
30 grand installed.
30 grand installed.
So 30 grand installed, but I mean that's just one tank.
But every batch of beer that comes out of there is 20 to 30 grand.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
that's the
wanna say
one thing that I have a hard time digesting. Dan can do it because he has the marbles. I have an issue with like, yeah, boom, throw it out there, it'll come back. Like Dan can be like, yeah, there's a dealer, it's for sale for 10 million, and I'm like,
I bought my first store and I had $500 in my checking account afterwards.
Dan, okay, so Dan is a perfect example of the American dream. Dan, when you started working in dealerships, because I don't think we've covered this either, and this is a great time to do it. When you started working in the dealerships, you first started out, how old were you when you started a dealership?
When I first started working?
Yeah, like when was your 19 years old, you started at a dealership?
So I'll give you, I was in college. My brother's 10 years older than me, my oldest brother. And I went to the same college he did. And I started selling cars. The first month I made 10 grand. So I called my brother, I'm like, he went to the same college, went to law school, went to be a lawyer and everything, and that's what I was gonna go do. And I said to him, how much you make a month? And he told me, and I'm like, I looked at my paycheck stub, I'm like, that's more money than what you make. And then I said, how much do you pay for school, law school, all that? He told me, and I'm like, yeah, that math don't make any sense. So my mom's a teacher. She's been a teacher for same school system, 42 years. So I call her, I'm like, hey, just give me the bad news. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm dropping out of school and I'm gonna go sell cars. And she's like, I mean, if I was there in person, I'd probably be hit with like a wooden spoon, whatever was out there, like fucking a pan, everything.
Something.
Yeah, anything was in reach. So that's what I did, and I started working my way up the whole thing. So I went from salesperson to sales manager to finance manager, to general sales manager to GM, and then bought my own store basically. But it's worked out well.
It's worked out well.
Yeah.
And you might not think this, but Dan is actually younger than me.
1 year.
I just say, Dan.
I mean, that's pretty
it's
easy
the beard.
to see.
It's the beard.
Pretty easy to see.
I got the flowing locks from Dr. Robert Leonard. So you've seen that on the commercials.
Did you do commercials for it?
Yeah, you haven't seen the Rob Ninkovich, Dr. Leonard commercials with the hair?
Eddie's gonna have to basically take this spot right now, right?
Yes.
And just go into the commercial of Rob Ninkovich saying,
when I was in high school, when you're playing football and you take your helmet off, you look in your helmet and you're like, wow, I see a ton of hair in there.
Hey,
not only was I
when
a
I was
client,
in high school, look, my old man, you saw my old man.
I didn't think it was a big deal. When you're around the guys, they kind of kid with you like, oh, thin up top, huh, Rob? And knowing that you can have a consultation.
Yeah.
He looks like Mr. Clean. I was like, I need to keep the locks flowing. And,
what year? How old were you when you did that?
I mean, dude, I was 18 years old taking my helmet off. I'd say, oh my God, I got hair in here.
And find out different steps to keep your hair. I think that is the #1 goal.
Losing your hair can be tough, even for professional athletes.
Just running around.
As long as I make it to 40, if I can make it to 40, I'm married with children. Like, hopefully my wife Paige doesn't leave me because I'm bald. But you never know. You never know, because health is a lot. But anyway, let's not get into the health thing.
Wow.
We not only can treat your hair loss, but also restore your confidence.
Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for a free consultation.
I got nothing to say.
You got nothing to say. I just want to keep my hair until I'm older. Like, when I get some few wrinkles
How
or
often
something.
do you go back? Do you go back like once a month?
No, I just, I do a laser cap and I do a bunch of, I haven't had a transplant. I haven't done the bring it back. This is me. I just do a laser cap every day, 6 minutes a day. Hits me with the laser.
What the hell's a laser cap?
It's called a capillus laser cap. It stimulates the follicles to stay strong. Stay strong. But
You
anyway,
won't drink an apricot-based beer.
I don't like.
But like
What's wrong?
you're putting a laser cap on.
My dad would always say, hair don't make the man, and I say, Dad, you're bald. That's why you're saying that.
Do you really do this? Like, this isn't like a game, right?
I'll send you a picture.
Oh, this is amazing.
And it's an amazing
I
laser
gotta
cap.
see this.
I'll get you on the laser cap, and we'll see
No,
Dan
I'm
looking
good.
like freaking.
I've been shaving my head since I was like 19.
Dude, I know.
Nice and
but
clean.
You still have hair. I see hair up there.
I know, but it's just boom.
Boom.
What do you use?
Just a razor.
He goes straight razor.
Yeah.
All right.
Dan, you're gonna look like David Hasselhoff running down the beach with a beard.
If I put a laser cap on every day.
It's 6 minutes a day. It's well, okay. What's our next beer? This is the look.
right.
We've been on
Hold
for
on,
a while.
hold on. I need a minute to like.
Digest the laser cap. Digest the Rogaine. Digest the. I don't do the.
What does your
propane.
wife say when you put a cap on?
She laughs at me,
Okay.
and my child laughs at me as well.
Okay.
So my kids laugh at me like.
At least I got that.
Dad likes
that
the
goes
laser
through me,
cap, and
though.
my dad, he likes to call me the flesh-colored, because I got a little spot in the back. But you put a little.
So you get enough shame at home, we don't have to lay it
Yes,
over here.
you put a little powder on there. Nobody sees it.
You really put a thing on every day?
It's shoe polish. Okay. No, I
you
put a laser
cap on
every day, 6 minutes. Stimulates the follicle.
Holy shit.
Okay, what's the
Okay, so we've got high def.
high def? This is the high def. This is the high
So,
def.
in case everybody wants to realize, it goes number 50 for the New England Patriots, Rabel,
Ninkovich.
Ninkovich, Winovich.
Ninkovich.
Yeah. No, but he's got all the hair.
Let's not be insulting now. He's only 24. I look like Elvis when I was 24. Like, come on.
The long locks.
If he's got to play
Let's try high
11.
def.
He's got to play 11 years. Okay.
So,
This is a good beer.
Okay. High def is 8.5%
8.5%.
alcohol.
yeah, this is basically boozy pineapple.
This is straight up pineapple juice. You lay on the floor.
But it doesn't really taste like it, though.
Drinks really clean, really easy. If I didn't tell you it was 8.5%,
Yeah, you'd pass
wouldn't
out.
guess.
Yeah. Have you not had high def
That's
before?
terrific. I've never had high def.
I actually think it's better than Fiverr.
Wow. Wow. Is that good?
It's a juicy, punchy fiber.
Yeah, but it don't.
That is good. So one of my best friend, my best man in my wedding, Roy Horton, my man, he is a big, big fan of a good IPA. I gotta send him a high def.
We can help with that.
I gotta send him a high def.
High def's great.
Dude, this is good.
Yeah, if you want to pass out.
No, but not just pass out. If you just want to have one, feel good.
No, you have like, you grab a 4-pack of this, you're on the beach.
This is a
Done.
couch.
That's
This is a
good.
couch beer. This is a beach beer. You're not drinking this and then going out to party.
This is good.
This is your night right
This
here.
is a high def.
Yeah.
This is really good.
That's why I start with Castle Island. This.
And we have a Uber coming for us, so we can get home safely. This is
So,
very good.
McLaren stand
This
in
is-
the
The
parking lot?
McLaren
is
might
small.
stay here.
Yeah, but this is
McLaren.
small though.
This is a small. These are samples.
Like, comparative.
Yeah, this is a very
comparative.
small sample.
We've had like one beer.
That's good.
The 5 though is only like 11.5% alcohol per volume.
No, this is.
It was like taking a
this
shot.
isn't- This is 6.3. This is still.
This is.
Hold on. Yeah. This is. Yeah. It's good.
This is great though.
All right. Well, I think episode 23, the MJ of episodes, has
Became the
basically been a success from start to finish.
Yeah.
Because we're at Castle Island. We have Adam here explaining the process.
Yeah.
We've
We
had.
talked about Castle Island.
We didn't take a shot of Jameson, which
caps.
we talked about
Electronic
Capillus
caps
laser
that,
cap
like,
by
went
Dr.
on.
Robert Leonard.
Are you gonna be on like the next thing of like like Cialis or like Viagra or something like that?
No, that's for like when you have an issue.
That's not for hair.
There's no issues for that hair, okay? But there's no issues.
Isn't that the
I'm
progression?
37.
Though? That's the progression though.
Well, maybe in 5 years if we're
Like
continuing.
here, I'm looking at the menu. You start with something like a candle pin, and you end up with like a 5, right? At the end.
A barrel-aged
So,
floor
like,
at 11.5.
The cap is at like
depends.
like high def.
It's like a high def.
You haven't gone to 5
I'm
yet.
trying to take the damage and minimize the damage. That's what we're at right now in life. So 37 years old, this is 37. Minimize the damage.
With a rubbish hat on.
Wait, no, it's not a rubbish. Oh, this is Red's rubbish.
Yeah.
Red's rubbish. But I'm gonna go with a Castle Island corduroy blue, baby blue.
Corduroy.
And Paige Beautiful's calling me. So we're gonna wrap this episode up, episode 23. Thank you so much. Dan, do the follow.
All right, see us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, podcast, everything. We're on all them all.
Adam, thanks
See you
so
guys
much.
next week.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. See you guys next week.